up, YouTube? I'm Danielle, and this is Kitchen Optimist. I'm a novice cook, but expert eater, taking on recipes that scare the sugar out of me 1 teaspoon at a time. We are coming up on Christmas season, and that means one of my favorite things, eggnog. If you've never had eggnog, it is creamy, sweet, highly caloric, thick, dairy-laden, a meal in a glass. For some people, it is also a vessel for, I think, rum? I don't know. I don't drink, so that's not where my love of the drink comes from, but I'm sure it's lovely. I don't know why it is a Christmas season specific drink, but I swear by the time New Year's Day hits, it is no longer in stores. I've never really gotten that. My entire body temperature raises after I drink it, but that might be because I'm just a little bit lactose intolerant, but I fight through it every time. But it is a beverage you drink cold, so I don't really get how winter was determined as the season for it. And having spent 20-ish years on the East Coast, winter extends well into March in my experience. What if I want eggnog in March? Well, I am out of luck, but not anymore. Today, we're gonna remedy that, and I'm gonna make eggnog from scratch. I'm using a recipe from tastebetterfromscratch.com. I've used the recipes before. I have been successful. Hopefully today's results follow in suit. There aren't a whole lot of ingredients in it, besides the fact that it's something I've never seen anybody make at home, which makes it intimidating. There's tempering eggs in it. I really don't want to end up with sweet cinnamon flavored scrambled eggs, which is what could happen if I don't temper them properly. But we're gonna give it a go, and best case scenario, we'll be successful, or worst case scenario, we will be a how-to not manual on the internet. In a completely unprofessional, average everyday person cooking in their kitchen type of way, I realized that while my husband and I have bought 2 complete Farberware dry ingredient cup series, we have managed to melt everything but 2 full cups and 1 1/3 cup. Now, this recipe calls for half a cup of sugar, and since eyeballing it is not really my thing, I am going to use my kitchen scale to weigh out my sugar. I will not include the kitchen scale in the final cost analysis, because if you learned your lesson faster than I did about putting smaller measuring cups in the dishwasher, this won't be a problem for you. Hey Siri, how many grams is half a cup of sugar? 99 grams. Here we go. 101, 100, still 100, also still 100, still 100 again, 99. Okay, we need 6 egg yolks. I took these out before taking my dog for a walk this morning because I read somewhere that anytime a recipe references eggs, they should be room temperature. Does them being room temperature make it harder to split them? If you know, please let me know in the comments. It didn't split, so I feel like we can still fish it out. You know what's really gross? In this process, what comes to mind to me is always, are egg whites the equivalent of egg placenta? When all those Upper East Side bar method moms are ordering their egg white only omelets, spinach and mushrooms only, absolutely no cheese, are they just eating egg placenta, straight no chaser? And yes, I realize that makes the yolk the egg fetus. So if you ever wanted an argument to go vegan, there it is. Now these get whipped in this medium bowl until light and creamy. Okay, I think this qualifies. While that drips itself clean, we'll move over to the stove. 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, 2 cups of milk. I went with whole. This doesn't seem a place where skim or 1% is the right option. Half a teaspoon of nutmeg, a pinch of salt, and now this cooks as I stir it often until it gets to the barest simmers. I'm gonna say that qualifies as the barest of simmers. Now I am adding big teaspoon, this isn't that big, and whisking vigorously to temper the eggs. I got 3 cups of dairy here. Doing this a spoonful at a time is gonna be a while. I'm gonna get a bigger spoon. Big spoon. The good news is it appears we have 0 scrambling. Ooh, sweaty. Once most of the mixture has been added, I move it back to the stove. What do we think qualifies as most? More than half? Because if so, I am there. 80%, I am not. All right, y'all, I'm calling it. We're moving back to the stove. I'd say we have, let's say, a third of the milk unincorporated. Hopefully that will be sufficient. We've added the egg, milk, sugar mixture back into just the milk. And we are whisking constantly for a few minutes. It's supposed to get to 160 degrees. We are there. 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. And if you're adding alcohol, this is where you would do that too. Pouring it through a fine mesh strainer. She says into a pitcher, which I don't have, but I bet it'll taste just as good out of a bowl. And put it in the fridge until it's cool. And now we wait. I'll check on it in 30-minute increments. It's supposed to thicken while it cools. See you soon. All right, folks, it is the moment of truth. It looks like eggnog. It does have a bit of a skin on the top of it. I thought about that actually. I was like, should I press it down so it doesn't form a skin? But the directions just that cover. So here we are. I guess it mostly dissipates. She suggests actually putting a little bit of whipped cream on the top. And I love whipped cream, but I love whipped cream enough that it will obscure whether or not I actually like the eggnog. A little bit of cinnamon as a topper. It looks right. Man, that is sweet. I mean, eggnog in general is sweet. It's just been over a year since I've had it, so I can't really remember the exact experience. It's so weird. It almost seems eggier now that I've made it. This is definitely thinner than the store-bought one. Not in a bad way, but certainly thinner. I'm not mad at this. Do I think it tastes better from scratch? No, it certainly tastes as good as. Will I make this over buying it in the store? No, because that takes a matter of minutes, seconds even. Whereas this took 1 hour and 43 minutes and 25 seconds. That includes my prep time and an hour of waiting for it to cool. So certainly that hour I was not actively cooking, but it is time you need to account for if you're preparing it to consume it at a specific time. She claims it takes 15 minutes of prep and 10 minutes of cook, totaling 25 minutes. Obviously, it took me a little bit longer than that. Nothing I'm overly concerned about. So 1 hour, 43 minutes, 25 seconds. And for cost, $34.76 for ingredients. Again, as always, you might have cinnamon, you might have whipped cream, you might have sugar. I like to include the entire cost. Equipment, including the hand mixer, bowls, pots, etc., $112.56. Bringing our pre-tax total to $147.32. Like I said, I wouldn't make this over buying it in the store, but come February, come March, in early November, I'm all over this. This will allow me to get my eggnog fix at societally determined non-eggnog times, and I'm here for it. If you're also a person who thinks that eggnog should know no season, please check out the recipe link below. Tastes better from scratch, has not steered me wrong. I also tried her caramels. You can watch the video to that here. This is an easy, low-pressure way to impress people at a holiday party and taunt those who are lactose intolerant. Highly recommend. I'm Danielle, and this is The Kitchen Optimist, fighting the good fight for mediocre cooks everywhere. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to stay sweet.